close out your damn email. That's what happened.
Okay, so
I didn't know nothing. I'm not a
okay,
computer
let me
guy.
tell you. I know you're not
that.
a computer guy, Jerry. But what I also know is how I know you're not telling the truth is because there was a time that I even established a whole new email account.
Didn't know.
Jerry,
Didn't
now
know about it. I'm telling you the truth.
Okay, well,
I'm
however, I know for a fact because I even took it to the guy. I remember taking my computer back to the guy because there was only one computer guy on the station that we were at that did that stuff, and I remember taking it to him, and he told me, he said, "I'm be honest with you," he said, "It's on there," and I said, "So that's how I ended up getting a new computer altogether."
Okay, so if you got a new computer altogether, and you steady saying that I had some interaction
spyware on my computer
with the new computer.
You had it on the old computer.
I didn't do it.
Jerry,
that guy told you a lie.
Okay, well, I know for a fact that you took. Here's the facts that I do know. You took my laptop, and told me that you were going to get some. Jerry, let me finish. These are the facts that I know to be true.
Because back
you
then,
you took my computer, my desktop, my laptop, to a guy. Because you said that you were gonna put a camera on my computer because at the time that I didn't have.
Why would you need it? You can buy a plug-in camera.
Jerry, Jerry, we know what the facts are. I'm telling you what I remember to happen. So you don't have listen, because you don't. Because I understand. That's kind of evasive. Nobody wants anybody to know that they put trackers or devices on there.
Well, you should have had 10 trackers on your ass if you really want to know the truth about it.
Well, here we are.
Because there you go.
Here we are.
Because you should have been tracked every move you made.
Why
talking about me all the time. Shit.
Why is that?
Because you were just as your hands were just as dirty as mine. What this all looks like.
Dirty, what do you mean dirty?
What this all looks like, I'm the dirty guy in it. And no, you had just as much dirty hands as I did.
See, yeah, after I had our son, and after you came back from Honduras, and after you came back from Enoch, at that point I said, why should you be the only one having fun?
You wouldn't.
And I told you, no, honey, because like I told you, I was the chick that would have went to the moon with you. And when I realized that I was being shortchanged in so many ways,
you being shortchanged?
Listen, because I'm thinking to myself, like I told you always, I wanted to know what was they getting out of the relationship because I was getting a check. And so I said, well, you must be putting it down good for them to be contacting me and doggone coming up and telling me all this stuff. I said, well, what you doing? Because you ain't doing it to me like that. So what is you doing to them? So apparently you were saving all your energy for them. So if I'm getting a paycheck, right, and I got the kids and I got everything else, right, you at home every day, you don't never skip a weekend, you don't do any of that stuff. So in my mind, this joker must be pounding. He must be doing something good, and I was just curious. And you know I'm not lying because I would tell you, I just want to talk to him and see what you're doing to him.
I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't a cheater. I was a good husband.
You was a good father. You was a good father. You was a good father, and I will never take that from you. So your 3 children plus 1, you were.
So let me ask you a question. You said so. Well, he's having all the fun, and you're not having no fun.
Correct.
And so you decided to go have fun.
I decided to have fun.
And so when you look back at your fun compared to my fun,
I had an amazing time.
Okay. You know what? You could get drop kicked right now. Talking that bullshit.
I'm just telling you what it was.
Hey.
And I'm just telling
glad you had an amazing time.
You know what I mean?
I was a faithful husband, America. I was faithful, and you see what I get. That's what it is.
Yeah. And I waited till I was out of the area, and I went and found somebody that was.
I'm going to tell you what happened. America, I'm going to tell y'all a story. And this so I'm downstairs, right?
Now, mind you, this is year 7 of our marriage, but year 11 of our relationship when I decided to have fun.
Well,
okay, so 11 of our relationship, 7 of our marriage. But go ahead and continue.
Okay, so we're in the house, right? And I was upstairs and she was downstairs. And the phone rang.
Don't lie, Newmys. We told this story last week.
No, we did. The phone rang.
Okay, that's true.
The phone rang. So I look at it, it's an iPhone, of course. And I go there.
What year was this?
See, this is probably year
2004.
This was not 2000. We was in California.
When the phone rang?
No. This is a different story from that phone.
Okay, because I need to hear this one.
So I look at the iPhone. And so
you talking about when I had a bat phone. Oh, you talking about when I had a bat phone.
So we can laugh at this shit now,
I had a bat phone.
It was not a funny when it was
But you want to tell how we got to the bat phone?
Well, she had a friend that she was trying to keep in touch with. That's what.
No, that's not what happened. Let me tell you what happened. Let's tell the real story. So here's the real story,
What's
my
the
Jay.
Why is your story the real story? My story is not the
Because
truth.
I have proof. I have
What proof you got?
If you remember, okay, America, here we go.
Turn around so the camera can see.
So here we go, America. What had happened was, I need to know what camera I need to look at. This is what happened. He was in charge of the cell phone. We were on the joint account, a family plan. So we had 2 phone numbers. I think our digits was one off by one on both sides, okay? So time come.
I was 4843 and you was 4845.
So time come. I noticed that he would get, because remember, this is year 2000 and
this is 7.
Six or 7 or 8. 7 or 8. Yeah, 7 or 8. And because it was around the time that my uncle died, because we were in California. And I remember he would get my phone bill itemized, because you still get your phone bill itemized where you see all the numbers on the call. But yet his would come unitemized. It would be a summary. So you would have 20 pages with all my numbers, but then when it came to his phone number, because it was 4341 or 4340 or something like that, it would just be, and it would just be 0. And I'd be like, well, you made 1,000 calls, but I can't see none of yours. So what I decided to do, I decided to call the company one day, AT&T or Singular, whoever it was. And I was like, hey, black lady, girl, let me tell you what I'm going through right now. Okay, because he get my phone bill itemized, but his ain't itemized, and it's in his name. She said, well, honey, he got this thing locked down like Fort Knox. So you can't see nothing, because you had passwords, you had pins, you had your firstborn child, you had everything to lock down that account. I said, here, black lady that work at this Singular or AT&T place, I can't remember which one it was. I said, I need to get in my husband's phone, because this is what didn't happen. She said, girl, I've been there. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to email you all the information and all the numbers he done made to this phone number. So that's what she did. She emailed me she went into his phone bill. She worked at the company. I don't know her name. It's been many years ago. She emailed me all your numbers. So then I saw numbers. So now with that being said, I say, Jerry, so I'm not going to get into how the numbers I seen that, what happened after that, and when I called the girl.
We need to let them know that.
Because right now we're talking about the bat phone.
We're talking about facts.
We can come back. We can come back to it. We can come back to it, but let's talk about the bat phone.
Your shit was.
Okay, but let's talk about the bat phone, because we're talking about the bat phone. So time come, and so I remember when my uncle died, I was in California. And we were in California, and I drove. Michael Jackson had died the day, and I told him, I said, hey, I'm tired of your phone being not itemized, but mine being itemized. So give me control over my phone number, because I wanted to keep my same phone number, but I just wanted to get up off and up under your plan. So while we were driving from the part of California that my relatives were in for the funeral, we were coming back to where we were at Fort Irwin. And I stopped at a AT&T store, whatever it was, that was on the side of the highway. I'm in the store, right, and I'm saying, Numa, give me access to the number so that I can buy the number from up under you or transfer the number up under you, have my own cell phone bill number. That way you can't see my phone calls. You wouldn't give it to me. So why did you want to do that? Yes. You wouldn't, because in my opinion, why are my phone calls itemized and yours not?
It doesn't matter. If you had nothing to hide, shit,
but the thing about it is that you could see my number, so I didn't have. So it's not about having anything to hide.
You did have something to hide.
Jerry, listen to me. At the end of the day, you had been seeing my numbers for months now. So it's not like, so whatever I was hiding or trying to hide, it was visible on paper because you got my phone calls itemized. So you could see when I was calling whoever. So I said, you know what? I can't see your stuff, so why should you be able to see my stuff? Okay? So I said, give me access to my phone. You wouldn't do it. So therefore, in that moment, I said, you know what? Forget it. Because you was on the phone with the guy. I was trying to tell you to give him the password, whatever, because you had to have. I was in the AT&T store, so I said, you know what? Forget it. So what I did at that moment was bought a second phone, which was a 559 area code. And that's why my number is still a 559 area code. And I was like, well, forget it. So I kept the phone you had, and I got another phone. They were two phones that were same. They were iPhones. And so I kept it the same. So I would keep my new number in the phone, because nobody knew that new number. Everybody still had my old.
A few select guys.
There were a few select guys that knew that number, right? But it was still new. It was still new. And so it was. But the person that called me that day wasn't nobody. Like it wasn't like that. Like, this was an old battle buddy from when I was on the trail, but it wasn't like that with he and I. But he called me on that phone one day. I'm downstairs on the computer with the phone that you had with us on there, and when my phone vibrated in my purse, the new number vibrated in my purse or something like that.
No, The phone, you had forgot and left the phone upstairs.
It was in my purse.
On the bed.
Well, whatever, Jerry. It was not on the bed. It was in my purse. You didn't even know I had the number. The phone, Jerry. Why would I be so careless?
Because you was careless.
Baby, don't do that. Don't do that. You know I ain't never been careless. Anything you found out about it, I wanted you to find out about it. Don't get it twisted.
You full of shit.
Don't get it twisted.
Let's keep it right.
Let's
keep it right.
I had that phone in my purse and it vibrated, and you went in my purse and took it out.
America, that's our side of the story, and I'm gonna tell you mine. Because I sit there and the phone was sitting on the counter. And I brought the phone down to you. You look dumb as hell because you had the other phone.
It vibrated. That's how you discovered it, because it rung. And when you saw the person that was on there,
it was
you
no
bought
person
it to
name
me.
It
was. And then you bought it to me.
The person at that time was supposed to have been deployed.
No, he wasn't deployed. He wasn't deployed. The person that called me on that day was one of my old drill sergeant buddies. He was not deployed. He was not deployed. He was in Kentucky. We were in California.
I don't know where he was at.
The number vibrated. The phone vibrated, and you bought it to me. And when you bought it to me, that's when you recognized that. Wait a minute, hold up. You got two phones because you bought it
one in your hand.
Correct. And you bought the other one to me, and you're like, oh, hold up, you got two phones, and that's when you discovered I had two phones.
I should have started thinking I should have had 2 or 3 phones.
Well, you didn't need to have 2 phones when you was getting your calls, my calls itemized and yours not itemized. What you needed 2 phones for? Because you called them at work, remember?
So stop.
They had your work number, your doggone grandmama number, your doggone social security number.
Why you gotta always overtalk somebody?
Okay, well go
ahead.
Stop
over-talking shit.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Listen, so this is what happened, right? When she came home and she saw that her bill was itemized and mine was not. So she said, okay, she did whatever she did. Every number on that she called and every woman she called on there, oh yeah, I know Newmys. Oh yeah, I know him. Yeah, he's over here doing this. He got.
That is not what they told me.
Oh, they told you we was having an affair?
No. What they told me. No.
Now, one of them women would tell you that.
They did not tell me that.
Oh no, any one of them tell you they did not know me.
No. They didn't tell me that. They all knew you, but what they told me was the way that you had told them was that you and I were going through a divorce.
No, never said
and that we were, whether you said it or
bullshit.
not, Jerry, I swear on my life, what this one particular woman told me, she said the way she said, I'll tell you what, you ain't never got to worry about me calling him no more, because the way you implied it to her was that, I don't know the story, but the way she told it to me on the phone was
ain't
that
no woman ever told, because ain't
Jerry,
nobody I ever told that to.
Your dog.
That ain't my MO.
Listen, I was about to say that's always been your MO. How do you think you got me? Monkey burn. It's the same thing. You hold on to something else before you let go of something else. So you had somebody else in the chute waiting. This is your MO. It's been your MO for years. You don't zebra don't change their stripes, honey.
Neither does a leopard.
And you're right. A leopard doesn't either. But I'm not a leopard.
A tiger, whatever the hell.
I'm not neither one of those. But what I will know is this: the one particular woman, even after you and I got divorced.
How many numbers did you call on there?
It was about 3 or 4.
No, you called.
I only called the ones that was repetitive. Because it was a lot of numbers. You had 1,000 numbers. You always on the phone.
So if there was 1,000 numbers on there, don't you know in an inquisitive mind that thinks somebody's cheating, they gonna stop at 3 or 4? Ain't no way.
Because you didn't think. But remember though.
Not you.
But listen, but you didn't think that I would get hold of the phone number or your itemized bill. But the lady, you never thought that was something that you were gonna have to confront. Was me knowing who you called. So when I got hold to that,
I wasn't even concerned with it because you know what?
Of course you were, because you didn't know that a black woman was going to answer the phone and say, girl, I've been there too. Let me give you access to his account.
No.
And I downloaded all your stuff and the numbers that came up repeatedly. So let me tell you the one that came up repeatedly. And let's tell you how I discovered who this was. You want to tell this story?
I don't care which story you tell.
Okay, so let's tell this story. One particular number. No, I'm not heated, honey. This was 15 years ago. This was 15 years ago. I didn't... Listen, I'm passionate about everything I do in life, honey.
Let's go then.
So let me tell you the one number.
And then I got the story to tell.
Let me tell you about the one number. So here's the thing.
And that number was on there repeatedly?
Repeatedly.
Probably about what, 5, 6 times?
No, sir.
You know what you came back and told me?
It was a 30-day. I thought you was going to let me tell the story.
Wait a minute, hold on. Now, let me say this first. You know what you came back and told me? This is what you said. Those numbers you called.
Can't even
sit down.
You can't even lie. I'm going to need you to lie right now. Lie right.
You said, you looked at all those numbers on there.
You can't even get it together.
You know what she said, America? This is what she said. Well, she said this, right? She looked at all those numbers on that list, and she says to me, none of these numbers were on there multiple times like this.
You know that's a lie. The truth ain't in it. Boy, stop.
But go ahead, tell your
So let me tell what's happened to this one particular number.
And it was on there 4 to 5 times.
No.
No, because I never would call nobody more than that.
So let me tell you what happened, okay? Because I have a photographic memory, okay? Now, what happened was there was one particular number that came up multiple times. And every time I would call the number, a lady would answer the phone. And she kept on saying, well, I don't know. So one day, here I was, a drill sergeant. I'm out at the range.
We back in Fort Lindenwood.
We were.
How do we get back there?
Because
this ain't got nothing to do with that.
It does, because this is how. When I got hold, because remember we were at Fort Lindenwood, because you're mixing apples and oranges. We was at Fort Lindenwood when I got copy of all the numbers on your thing.
No, not
we
true.
were when she gave me access, Jerry.
Not true. You know when you got that access.
I know when I got
California,
access. No,
because
I did not get access. That's when I got a new phone in California. When I got access, Jerry, I got a new phone in California.
The same time
That's when you discovered I had a second phone in California.
No, stop.
In 2007. Remember, you got
that was
California.
2008. When
Jerry,
you got the new phone.
Okay, 2008. Well, it was after 2007, but 2008. But prior to that, how did I know it? When I'm talking about when I got your phone itemized, we was at Fort Lindenwood.
No,
because
we was at Fort Urban, California. I'm
when
gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. You remember?
Because I asked you for. Because remember, prior to that,
you came home and you was talking about
because I was
what
saying
have you been doing?
I wanted my own cell phone, and so I stopped.
Will you stop for a second?
I remember what happened.
Okay, can
Jerry?
I say what I'm gonna say?
Please.
Okay, you came home. You came from OCS or whatever it is. You came back home and then you said this. This is exactly what you said.
The fuck. You know it wasn't no OTS.
OCS?
Wrong wife.
OCS then. Let's get it right there. You see what I got to deal with America?
It was the wrong wife.
Well, you stop with all
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You know what?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. The old wife went to OCS. The new wife went to OTS. But go ahead.
America, this is something terrible going on right here, right now. But listen, let me say this right here. This is what happened. You came home from Officer Candidate School. She came home. She was on fire because, you know, she had met somebody there. And she come home, hey, what have you been doing? And this is how you got it. You got the number. And then I said, well, you question me about what I've been doing. What have you been doing? And that's when we looked at your number and all them numbers. It was one number on there. It was a 954 area code. Never forget it. It was on there, America, 3,000 times. I counted. 3,000. America, I will not lie. 3,000 between text messages and calls. And I'm looking like, how you get 3,000 text messages and calls back and forth in 1 month to one person? That shows emotions, America. That shows the relationship. That was not a friendship. It was a relationship. And so when I'm looking at it, I'll say, who? And so I called the number. I said, hey, did I not call the number?
But wait. Kim, we're going to talk about 2007 and when I came to Fort Urban. When I finally got to Fort Urban, you had been there 6, 7, 8 months before I did.
Almost a year.
You had set up a whole profile of dating websites in our living room. Be like, I ain't even been to the house yet and you got a dating profile? That look like my new living room. You got a dating profile with our new living room on there? Our new living room. I ain't even been to the new living room yet and you got a dating profile with the picture in the back? That means you in our new house. I ain't even been to the new house. And already you got no wonder your credit card bill got all these charges on it. I keep paying it off and then I keep seeing these reoccurring charges.
America,
so I called. Because of course back then, whenever you were into dating websites, sex websites, porno websites, they wouldn't say what it was on your doggone charge card bill. What they would do is they would say some undisclosed name, but they would give you a number. So I called. Hey, who are y'all? They was like, well, we are bigbooties.com. Findagirlfriend.com. In your local area. Keep it download.com. That way your spouse ain't gotta know.com. I was like, no what? He's spending $100 a month and plus on each of these sites to date a chick. This our new living room. Did I say it was our new living room, one I hadn't even been to yet?
What you talking about?
So when I got there, I was like, give me...
Did you just cast a spell on me or some shit?
Because if you're gonna tell the story, baby, tell it all.
But
so
listen. Listen.
Okay. So don't talk about on 3,000. So by the time I got to school, so by the time I got to where you at, I was up to here with you and your shenanigans, honey.
I had disputed those charges.
I was up to here with you and your shenanigans. Okay, because here I was paying your charge card, making sure you got good credit. Okay, doing everything. I'm thinking the bill's paid for, and every now and then I get a bill like, damn, I just paid this charge card off.
You know, I disputed those charges because somebody had stole my credit cards.
I bet you did. But it's just amazing how that picture in the back looked like our new living room, and I hadn't even been to the new living room yet. About? Because I found your website. You about to get violent. No. I wanted to fix my dress. Okay, but I got to go back to how I discovered the one number on your cell phone.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's go back because you know I am a woman of 6 senses. So one day, and you know this is a true story. One day, I'm at work. My privates is at training. And I kept seeing a phone number coming up on your cell phone bill. When the lady finally gave me access to your numbers, because that's how I know it was at Fort Leonard Wood. Okay, because this was right before my privates graduated. Okay, when all this went down, it was leading up to this. Okay, because we're going back in stories. And the lady gave me access to your cell phone bill. I saw a number that kept coming up repeatedly. And so something made me call it. Now I remember, now the person's name, I can actually say it began with a J because it's a very, it's one of those names that everybody got that last name, okay? But you kept telling me it was a homeboy.
It was.
That lived there with this girl, and he was using her cell phone. Okay, now I know anybody know back in the 2003s and 4s, everybody had their own cell phone. Wasn't nobody sharing no cell phones, especially not no friends. They were friends, but let you tell it, he was renting a room for her. They were both drill sergeants, and he had come there, whatever the case may be. So every now and then he would use her cell phone, like as if he couldn't afford one as a single man. But anyway, that was your story, and I'm gonna let you stick to it. So time come, and I decided to call them. So I'm like, hey lady, who are you? She's like, I don't know you, I don't know your husband. Okay, I'm gonna find out who you are. I don't know who you are because she had a different last number, but I knew she was local somewhere, right? So one day I'm at training with my privates. Okay, because the ancestors, my ancestors always work with me. Right. And something came over my whole body, and I tell you this story all the time. And it was one particular drill sergeant that I turned to, and I grabbed him by his forearms, just like this. Let me demonstrate. Okay, and I said, something is telling me you know whose phone number this is. And what it was that I felt.
To tell you too much.
No. Because we wasn't even standing beside each other. I was standing because we had different companies out there, and we were feeding our privates at chow time. So I was down there. He was on the other end talking to another drill sergeant. All of a sudden, something came over my whole body and told me to go and ask him if I knew whose number this was. And in that moment, whatever I felt, he felt, and the person that he was talking to felt it too. That man went in his phone, typed that number in, and told me which person it was.
Who was it?
Oh, you know who it was.
I don't know.
And that's how I found her.
My memory is
And
bad.
up until that point, I was like, oh, I know her. She know me. This who this is. So I went looking for her several times, and it took other people in the company to tell me, listen, you about to throw away your whole career. You about to throw away your whole career because I went looking for her. Now, time come when I finally ran into her, when I was on my way to OCS, and I had to take a picture for me to go to OCS. And I ran into her because now this person here was maybe 2-3 months later. Now she was married because we knew for her to be very, she was a girl of many worlds. Okay, she was easy. Okay, I'm just telling you. Okay, I'm telling you who she was.
She was easy like that.
No, but anyway, she was married. Now she was married. And when I finally ran up on her, because when they told me to stand down, I had 2 people to come and get me off the road looking for her. I almost threw my career away looking for your companions. Okay, so let me. No. This was when I had not too long ago had your son, honey.
Okay, we always go back to my son.
Okay, because that meant something to me, even if it didn't mean none to you.
What you mean? Are you really crazy?
No, I'm not. But what I'm saying to you is, in that time frame, I still would have went to the moon with you, honey. I still would have went to the moon with you. So now.
And you would have went to the moon with somebody else too, right? Because that dude that gave you that number, I'm pretty sure he had an ulterior motive. Reason why he gave it to you.
Let me finish the story. I found her, and when I found her, I literally went to go, when I finally found her and I went come into contact with her, was at the DA photo spot. And she looked at me because she had her new husband with her because she was changing her last name. And it had been a few months. Got married? She had just got married and she was changing her last name and she knew I had been looking for her. And she looked at me and she said, please, not right now. Because she didn't want to ruin the relationship she had with her husband. Because they had been dating even when y'all was talking or doing whatever it was y'all was doing. And she didn't want me to ruin what she had just established.
So what did you do?
And I walked away because why? Because I knew I would have ruined my doggone career. Because if I had did anything to that woman at that time or confronted her, it wasn't going to be easy for nobody. Because I knew me. Because of the fact that I knew her.
You knew her?
No, I knew her. We went to drill sergeant school together.
Wow.
I know you didn't know it.
I don't even know the person.
I know.
Who you talking about?
I know you don't.
So, oh, your ass. She is terrible. She won't let me get a word in edgewise.
I felt like you said enough.